Hi again, Attorney Steve Vondran. We're talking in this video about the rehabilitation factors that the Bureau of Real Estate will look at when you're applying for your real estate license when you have a prior criminal conviction in your record. So I'm looking at, just as a printout you can get off the Department of Real Estate website, and this is coming from Code Section B&P 2911. Okay, this is called Criteria of Rehabilitation. Okay. So what they're going to be looking at is basically your prior crime. First and foremost, is this a crime that is substantially related to the duties, qualifications, and functions of a real estate professional? If it is, like forgery, fraud, those kinds of things, if they consider it to be substantially related to those duties, you could have a very serious problem actually getting your license. So you're going to want to get a consultation as to what your prior crime is so we can take a look at that. Okay? But let's go to the criteria. These are the things that the Bureau will be looking for, things which the applicant must come forward and demonstrate to show that they've been quote-unquote rehabilitated from the time of committing their crime. So this is Section 2911. Okay, so basically it sets forth, what do we have, A through I, and I'll run through them real quick, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but just to give you a flavor of what you need to be prepared to show. One is a passage of time of not less than 2 years. If the crime, it says here, if the conviction of the crime, a longer period may be required if there is a history of acts or conduct substantially related to the qualifications, functions, and duties. So like I said, that's an important factor to be looking at. B, restitution. Have you paid all your restitution? C, have you had your criminal conviction expunged? A lot of people forget that you should actually go and once you are convicted, you've served your time, done what you have to do. Under the statute, you can go seek expungement, in other words, to get rid of that crime. That's another factor that they'll look at. D, expungement or discontinuance of a requirement of registration pursuant to Penal Code Section 290. You can look that up if that's interesting. E, successful completion or early discharge from probation. So you'll see this in a lot of cases where there's a motion to go get an early discharge. If you've done that, that's something good, something that could be pointed out. F, abstinence from drugs and alcohol. So you want to be able to make the case that there's no reliance on substances or substance abuse, alcohol or drugs. G, payment of monetary penalties. Did you pay your fines and fees? Did you pay your things that you were supposed to pay, your restitution, those kinds of things? H, stability of family life and fulfillment of parental and familial, I love that word, familial responsibilities. So what they're looking at there is, do you have a stable family life? Are you caring for your kids? Child support? Are things being paid? Are your obligations being fulfilled? H, what was H actually? Let's go to I, completion of or sustained enrollment in formal education or vocational training courses. So in other words, are you enrolled in classes and courses? Are you engaged in self-study? These are the kinds of things you can point down. Yes, I'm engaged in self-studying and property management field. This is what I want to do, and I'm reading books and self-studying, or I'm taking a class at the local junior college. These are things that can help you. That's I. J, discharge of bona fide efforts towards discarding adjudicated debts of monetary obligations to others. That's a fancy way to say, do you owe judgments, liens? Do you owe other people money? What does your credit report look like? Are you satisfying your monetary obligations to other people, or are you blowing it off? That's what they want to see, okay? So that's J. K, correction of business partners, business practices resulting in injury to others or with potential to cause such injury. I'm going to read that one again. K, correction of business practices resulting in injury. In other words, have you changed your practices? Say you were doing this and you got convicted of a crime. Have you changed your practices? Have you changed your environments? Have you moved on to new associations with new people? That's K. L, another important one. Significant or conscientious involvement in community, church or privately sponsored programs designed to provide social benefits or ameliorate social problems. I hate that word, ameliorate. Ameliorate social problems, not easy to say. In other words, are you engaged in volunteer efforts? Are you involved in the church? Are you trying to make the world a better place? Or are you detracting from it? Are you just sucking up oxygen? What are you doing? Those kinds of questions. M, new and different social and business relationships. Again, are you hanging out with new people? Explain your new people and involvements that you have. Explain your new environments. Okay, that's a big one. And N, this is the last one. This is a real big one, I think, and this is where really our law firm comes in and helps applicants tell their story in a way that shows accountability, that shows maturity, and shows that you recognize the mistakes that went on and that you won't commit them again. This is N, change in attitude. I think there's a song on that. I think it's a Jimmy Buffett song, Changes in Attitudes. Listen to it if you haven't heard it, it's a great one. Changes in attitudes from that which existed at the time of the conduct in question, as evidenced by the testimony of the applicant, evidence from family members, friends, parole officers, law enforcement, you name it, okay? So this is where it becomes important to have letters of support, letters of character reference, people that will vouch for you, people that will vouch for you and say that you are a good person, that you do command the respect of the community, that you are going to be a great real estate salesperson, real estate agent, real estate broker, so forth and so on. So those vouchers, you want those vouchers. And absent of any criminal, any crimes, any violations since the date of your last conviction. So obviously you want to say, haven't had anything since, so forth and so on. So these are the criteria that the Bureau of Real Estate are going to be looking at when they're evaluating you. So if you get caught up into a licensing, you passed your licenses, you get caught up, you get flagged for having a past crime, or you failed to disclose a past crime, or you've disclosed a crime, now you've got a problem, give us a call, 877-276-5084. You can find more on our website at brokercounsel.com. That's Broker Counsel. You can spell that, you get to the right place. A lot of people don't know how to spell that. Anyway, this is Attorney Steve Bonner, and I hope this has been helpful, but if you're fighting for your licensing rights, we can give you help. We'll see you soon. Take care.